Pregame.com.
All right, guys, we're going to talk Buffalo Bills at Cincinnati Bengals. I'm Marco D'Angelo. I'm here with Stephen Nover. Stephen, you like these ugly duckling games, don't you?
Liked them last week with the Bengals. Had the under in the 49er Bengal game. Very easy.
Video best bet of the week. Congrats on that. So when you say you got an ugly duckling game and you want to play it, I'm going to listen. So I'm going to let you lead and I'll counterpunch.
This game's very interesting in the sense of the subplot where you're going to have tremendous square public action on Buffalo and you're going to have wise guy action on the Bengals. You raised an interesting point, Marco, off camera. You said, and we're doing this midweek, but already 85% of the action on this game has come on Buffalo. And we're not even into the weekend where the public is going to put most of their money into action and it's going to come on Buffalo, we're anticipating. I have a lean toward Cincinnati here just because of the terrible situation for Buffalo. 2 weeks ago, they come back from a 21-3 home deficit against Oakland, beat them. Last week, greatest home win in years after losing 15 in a row to New England. They come back from 21 points down and beat the Patriots. I mean, the beer still has to be flowing there in Buffalo. And now they're traveling on the road. First, only road game in a 4-week span. Real tough spot.
Let me jump in for a second and elaborate on what you said with public versus wise guys. Now, as you said, 85% already on Buffalo, and that's going to be a number as the week goes on. It's going to stay around there. Why we say that the wise guys are on it, this line is not moved off of 3. With all of the money that's, the bets being made, what they have adjusted, 3 is a key number. We all know that. And it takes them a good while before they'll move off of that because they don't want to open themselves up for disaster,
right.
Whichever way you go off that 3. But they'll play around with the VIG. And the VIG is now minus 120. If you still want to play Buffalo minus that 3, you got to lay the 120. If you're going to take, Cincinnati plus the 3, you're going to get a, benefit on the juice. I agree with you 100%. Old school, this is an automatic play. And in college football, I use a term whenever they, they storm the field, tear the goalposts down.
Yeah.
When I see that happen, I go to my schedule book if I'm watching a game, and I go look to see who they play next week, and I circle the other team right away that I'm going to start my handicap looking at that. Now, they didn't tear down any goalpost in Buffalo last Sunday, but that's about as close to storming the field and tearing the goalpost down that you can have. So how does Buffalo come back this week?
Yeah.
Is a young club that's just learning how to win, can they have the moxie to go into foreign territory and beat a team that, let's face it, Cincinnati's not that good. I mean, that's the sad part about trying to take them. The quarterback play, you're using a rookie, a quarterback. It's one of those ones that you got to kind of, if you make the bet on Cincy, you say the bet, you hold your nose so you don't smell the stench coming out of Cincy.
Yeah, this is a play where you're fading Buffalo more than backing Cincinnati.
Absolutely.
Although I will say about Andy Dalton, he had a real tough week last week, but prior to that, 2 out of the 3 starts, he's had over 100 quarterback rating. So he's been better than he certainly looked during preseason. Cedric Benson will not be suspended this week, so he'll be in the lineup. And Cincinnati does have a good defense. However, as we both, I'm sure, agree on this is mainly a fade on Buffalo.
Right.
And Buffalo, very well coached, good chemistry, very smart quarterback, but he doesn't have the big arm, and coaching has covered up a lot of their weaknesses. They have a terrible offensive line. So how do they get around that? Why has their offense been so proficient? Chan Gailey, who right now, after 3 games, is my candidate for Coach of the Year.
Landslide Coach of the Year.
He's designed this quick strike type of thing, short passes, no huddle type of thing, and to protect that offensive line. Fitzpatrick gets the ball out quick. The receivers, aside from Steve Johnson, are very undistinguished. They no longer have Lee Evans, but they know how to run these routes that Chan Gailey has put in, this spread offense, this West Coast type of offense, and it's been very effective.
Chan Gailey's been a great offensive mind everywhere he's been. I mean, until this stop, I've always thought he was a better offensive coordinator.
Kind of miscast as a head coach.
Than a head coach, but he's got these players buying into it. I got to agree with you, Stephen. This is a play that, I'm not going to make an official play, but my lean here is to Cincinnati or pass the game. It's one of those, I want no parts of Buffalo. The one thing we talked about, the quarterback, the Buffalo defense is not good. They've given up a ton of yards. Now, granted, Tom Brady's going to make any defense look bad, but when Jason Campbell can make your defense look bad, it's not that good. But small lean for me on Cincy. You have a play and a projection?
Well, I have a small lean too on Cincinnati. I've talked, as you know, I have a lot of sources, and I talked to them earlier in the week about this. I said, look, my lean is towards Cincinnati. Should I wait? Is there going to be a 3.5 available? And the wise guys I talked to said, no, we're down at 3. We don't need 3.5 on this. Bengals will win straight up.
There you go. What's yours? You going to give a predicted score?
Oh, well, we'll call it 23-20 Cincinnati.
All right, there you have it. Stephen Nover's official free play here is to take Cincinnati plus the points. He's calling for the outright upset. I agree with him. We'll see what happens on that one. We're going to come right back. We're going to go next game up, Detroit Lions, the 3-0 Lions at Dallas. I've got a free pick in that one. We'll be right back.